Kuzuzampo, welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Sonam Pem. Our top stories this week. Government puts more restrictions in place to prevent spread of the coronavirus. Hundreds apply for Tourism Council's employment support scheme. And farmers groups from Dagana and Sirang offer free vegetables to help the government. Amid the spread of coronavirus worldwide, the government has placed in more stringent rules in the country. These include restrictions pertaining to public gatherings, business and entertainment, travel and games, and working of offices.
Gatherings such as those of religious purposes are discouraged, while social events like birthdays, weddings or promotions, picnics and outdoor functions are prohibited. This, as per the press release from the government, is in order to minimize contact among people.
마치 또 입지 하람 십제 배워지 미십잘 합지 잡사이라 아니소요 가라도 미숨마도 집 같이나 데 종카 소소리기 주 뒤발라 오미기 수 클리닉 날에 오미기스에 가dem지 직접으로도 니지디 미베라 튼디 수니비 다니 볼린 다리레 고추디기 다니 같이 나나 막각차 베메디 케펜 bom쇼 집디 마치리기 난큐나루 커뮤니티 트랜스미션세 난큐나루 니지디 의미에 바친 각차디 아니기 배수 세슈니베일라
All non-essential and leisure travels within the country are restricted for now. The RSTA has been instructed to design and implement strategies for passengers using public transports to maintain physical distance. Even games and sports which require physical contact such as football, basketball and archery will be banned for a while. This doesn't apply to games such as lawn tennis and badminton.
아니깡이 bom쇼디 코로나 바이러스기 니지디 톱치와치니 아니갈린 수룹잡게스르에 잠수블라 둥예룹 바게스르에 바메소 수슈니미 독도 각담비 갑루 사게 둥예 지치가 바시게 해서 지금 배수 없으슈니미다 아니 볼렸던 당아리 혼레 두게 갑 용루 미세 가르루 순뎁치 같이 해서 와진 다리레 고추디게 배 같이기 다 각담 둠타 지 탭베니 수슈니미 베베쇼와진 다리춘저 같이기 좀저 루루 베마다 세슈이 베마나 세슈이라 다리레 좀저 루루 베미초 없으슈니비 아니기 바나 케버봄 유스슈니비라.
Also, according to the release, the government has directed entertainment entities to remain closed while business entities need to ensure physical distance. Civil service, corporate, private and other agencies are asked to institute a work-from-home system. Samtin Dolkar, PBS News.
Prime Minister Dr. Lotus Singh said it is not yet time for a lockdown in Bhutan, although it has positive cases of the coronavirus. The country will be on lockdown only if there is a community transmission, and as of now, there is none reported.
With the country detecting its third positive case of the coronavirus on Wednesday, many netizens took to social media urging and suggesting the government for a lockdown. The Prime Minister said lockdown in the current pandemic is required only as a measure to contain community transmission of COVID-19. Currently, Bhutan has 3 cases of coronavirus which are all imported.
Lockdown semidi mappalera chi tenta machip 총델 가라 고담급 총과 가라 고담급 디 lockdown semidi 아니 조고바친 미디나루 커뮤니티 나루 니지티 온고 세슈니비 아니 니지 유미 유 소소소소레 튠 니지 옆에 다스미기 민옴디 니지 옆다치가 데와 타타비기 제레 가데미 게갑 장칼로 도줄 가데 베보 미미기 두난큐나라 두미기 미치기 니지티 톱쇼 이마친 딜레벤 독보 bombe 사고라 다항아치르기 미데나루티 니지디 덤벨나미 있으면 도데 찹더 조니메세 녜카 bombe 옆 케마친 중기 lockdown 세미디 제옹 세슈니비.
The government, however, has put certain restrictions in place to prevent the spread of coronavirus. It includes restraints on public gathering, travel, business and entertainment, games and sports, and working of offices. At the same time, considering a worst-case scenario of the outbreak in the country, Bhutan is already preparing. The Food Corporation of Bhutan, following the government's directive, is busy stocking up essential commodities to last for at least 3 months. More than 300 million new term is injected for the purpose.
In terms of percentage, so far we have stocked up about 38% of rice, over 50% of oil and about 30% of pulses. Of course, we had a few problems getting the supplies as usual due to the recent lockdown in India. However, as per the directive and the financial support we received, we are doing our best to stock up all the necessary goods required.
Apart from the depot in Phinsoling, the FCV is storing essential items such as rice, salt, edible oil and pulses in its regional stores of Kelifu, Samrup Jonkar and Samsi. Meanwhile, following a few hiccups in the orderly supply of food, fuel and other basic necessities into the country during the initial days of India's lockdown, a long line of trucks and pickups carrying essential goods including vegetables were seen entering Bhutan yesterday. Moreover, despite the lockdown in India, its government has assured continued supply of basic goods to Bhutan. This is Pasang Doji for BBS News.
In an effort to maintain physical distance and minimize contacts among people to control the spread of coronavirus in the country, the passenger carrying capacity of public transports such as taxis and buses is now limited. The rule has been in effect since 28th March.
The carrying capacity for taxis and buses is reduced by half as per the new rule. For instance, a taxi with 4 sitting capacity will be allowed to take only 2 passengers at a time. Similarly, for a bus, the number is limited to 10 passengers. The rule is put in place following certain restrictions the government imposed on travels. According to a press release from the Prime Minister's office shared yesterday, the Road Safety and Transport Authority is instructed to design and implement strategies for passengers using public transports to maintain physical distance. This move spurred mixed reactions from public transport drivers.
It is important for us to support when the country is facing such a crisis. However, it is not convenient for us. We depend on the income from driving a taxi for our livelihood. Moreover, many drivers are divorcee like me. It would be better if we are allowed to carry 2 passengers for the fare of 3.
It is okay for taxi drivers operating within a town, but for us, we ferry passengers from one district to another. So it will be expensive for us just to take 2 passengers and earn enough to pay back loans. I work in the tourism sector, but due to the coronavirus problem, these days there is no work. So I hired a taxi.
We stay here from early morning and meet a lot of people. But at the end of the day, the earning is not much. When I return home and I see my family, I worry. I might be infected as well. Moreover, 80% of us have loans. So considering the current situation, we would be grateful if the government could temporarily suspend our loan repayment.
Every business entity is running in loss due to the COVID-19 situation. Taxi drivers are not the only ones suffering. We heard about the rule for passenger restriction yesterday. I am not worried by the news because it is meant for our own safety.
In my opinion, it is a good move because it is safe for everyone, including myself. After all, the government did not tell us to completely stop operating.
The Information and Communications Ministry, in consultation with the RSTA and Bhutan Taxi Association, also decided to follow odd-even road rationing scheme for over 7,000 taxis registered with the association. This means taxis with odd last digit in the registration number will be allowed on roads on odd dates, and those with even last digit will ply on even dates. However, both will be allowed on Sundays. Taxi drivers are also directed to submit their daily passenger logbook through a suggestion box, which will be put in place accordingly. This is to minimize physical contact. Samtan Dolkar, BBS News.
The Tourism Council's employment support scheme attracted hundreds of individuals, including many unemployed. The call for application of the scheme actually meant for the tourism sector opened on 29th March.
The tourism sector is worse affected after the country closed its door to outsiders amid COVID-19 outbreak. And the result? People working in the tourism sector are struggling to make ends meet.
So far, we had been surviving on a small amount that we have managed to save, and we are not sure for how long it's going to last. And we had been promised by our companies saying that even if there is no flow of tourists, support us in so many different ways. But we are not sure for how long it's going to sustain.
When there is no flow of tourists in the country, it literally means that our bread and butter is stopped. And the utility bills are very heavy, in the capital city especially. So they've decided to go back home, have their parents work in the fields. Some of them are having in their rough times right now, but we are hoping for the best.
Many who lost their jobs are applying for the employment support scheme online and through calls.
This includes everybody who are involved in tourism. Initially, we were thinking of full-time employees, but we realized that it has to be a very comprehensive list. So we are also allowing people to register even if they are not directly related to tourism.
The scheme will provide temporary jobs in infrastructure and manufacturing, survey, training and reskilling, and in waste management. They will be paid monthly salary of 8,000 to 45,000 Newton.
Having said that, the salary would depend. We may not be able to pay as much as they used to get paid, but we also are thinking of giving them a very basic amount where they can at least pay their rents and meet their basic daily expenses.
The scheme will begin as soon as the government implements the economic stimulus plan.
So we feel that it will come to an added advantage for sure. The only concern is how long it can be kept active for. Because if the situation is worsened for say 3 to 4 months, then I think this is very much doable. But once it goes beyond that time frame, then we are concerned.
But to many, the scheme will cushion the blow for now. Sangeet Shizom for BBS News.
The Food Corporation of Bhutan is currently building reserves of essential food items in various parts of the country and distributing it to the people. This, according to the FCB, is to ensure continued supply of essential supplies during the pandemic COVID-19 situation. Besides their warehouse in all districts, FCB has started stocking goods in the multipurpose halls of schools and institutes.
The Janganka School Multipurpose Hall in Thimphu is filled with thousands of rice bags, oil and pulses. Similarly, over 1,000 essential supplies were stored today at the Royal Institute of Management's hall. The day soups are helping unload and stock the essentials from the trucks.
As a day soup, I came here today to help the FCB with unloading and arranging the essential items. I feel that it is a good thing on this side because, as we all know, our neighbor country is under lockdown. Our shopkeepers don't have to go there by themselves. The government has identified all the vehicles, drivers, and they are bringing in the goods. So I think it is a very secure way.
Meanwhile, FCB will supply the essential food items in a controlled manner and not in bulks. This, according to the FCB, is to make sure food items are available to everyone.
The actual bulk store is located at Changsamto, but the retail is here at Changjiji. We don't sell it in bulk. For example, a person can buy only 1 sack of rice or only 1 to 2 packets of toothpaste. Some people come with their families to buy more goods, but we don't sell the items.
The retail shop branch of the FCB is located above Troa Theatre at Changjiji in Thimphu. For the distribution of rations across the country, The FCB has around 50 trucks and distribution works are underway. The Food Corporation of Bhutan says there will be sufficient supply of essential food items and that people need not panic. This is Sringdantuk, BBS News.
In a bid to help the government in its efforts in containing the COVID-19 spread, a farmers group in Dagana is offering their vegetable produce for free to the government. The supply will help feed those being kept at the quarantine centers. Following their lead, another farmers group from Tsirang has also offered a similar help.
Members of the Thumpa Pinji Sanam Ditsen from Dujigang Gyok are busy harvesting cabbage and cauliflower. They say the recent case of COVID-19 infections in the country came as a call for them to render help to the government.
We used to sell our vegetables to Dujigang school, but after the closure of the school due to COVID-19, we started taking vegetables in Thimphu. Actually, in such times with limited vegetable supply, it is a good opportunity for us to make money, but we decided to help the government instead.
The 16-member group says they are confident they can increase their supply if the situation continues. Today, there are over 3,000 people in various quarantine centers.
We have some more cabbage and cauliflower and soon our potatoes will be ready. If COVID-19 problem remains the same, we are ready to continue supporting the government. We might not be able to supply enough to all the centers, but we will do as much as possible.
The first batch of vegetables from the group, which is over 2 tons of cabbage and cauliflowers, reached Thimphu today. Meanwhile, following their lead, Trongseb Yarge Detsen, a farmers group from Danrebu in Tsirang, has also came forward to render help. They have offered to contribute around a ton of different vegetables to the government, which will be delivered tomorrow. For Pema Chong in Tsirang, this is Pasang Doji for BBS News.
Meanwhile, the current COVID-19 pandemic has come as an opportunity for some small business to make money. In Tongsa, the milk processing unit at Drakting Gyok has picked up business considerably in the past few weeks. According to the owner, people nowadays prefer consuming local dairy products rather than the imported ones.
The milk processing unit is run by a 23-year-old Lindup from Doji Gyumba under Nobi Gyok. He says these days his dairy products hardly last even an hour on the shelves. Sales have doubled, with the unit making around 2,000 Newton in a day as compared to only around 1,000 Newton a day before.
Due to the recent COVID-19 pandemic, more people are opting for local dairy products now. I am selling more this time compared to last year. How much ever I produce in a day is all sold on the same day. People are rushing in to get my dairy products. I supply first to whoever orders first because there are many orders.
The MPU collects milk from residents of Taksi, Tashdinga, Yusa, Samcholing and Khami villages in the Gyok. The unit collects around 150 liters of milk and produces around 70 balls of cheese and around 5 to 6 kilograms of butter. A kilogram of butter is sold for 350 Newton, while a ball of cheese is 50 Newton.
At present, we produce butter, cheese, curd or yogurt, and we are also planning of producing sweets, sugar and other products in future.
The MPU located at Changre was established a decade ago. It stopped functioning a few years ago after running into losses and was reopened last year. The 2 other milk processing units in the district are also experiencing the same situation. Pasa, BBS News, Tongsa.
Once a bustling town, Gorgan in Linsi now has become like a ghost town. Located along the Linsi-Mongar highway, it no longer exudes liveliness like in the past. Customers now have small businesses right at their doorstep, with farm roads reaching everywhere.
It is now easy to hear birds chirping and flowing kurichu in the gorge below. Gorgon town has lost almost all of its customers. Locals now do not come here, and coronavirus outbreak has made it even worse. Of 8 shops, 5 have closed their business.
In the past, people from Jare, Metso, Tsenkar and Minje Gyoks, including passers-by, came here to buy goods. However, with the construction of farm roads in all the Gyoks and opening of shops in most of the villages, we don't see any customers here. It has hampered our business.
Kezang left teaching in 1990 to open a business here, a decision that he regrets now. It has been like this for about a decade now. Some shopkeepers said hundreds used to come here in the past. They received plots in 1984 and all 8 of them constructed these buildings in 2007 after Gorgan was approved as a satellite town. People here do not want to talk about Shinkar-Gorgan highway, which could have been a bailout. They said it will never come. For Sonam Tsering in Lindsay, Sangichuzom for BBS News.
A canine distemper outbreak is taking a toll on the dog population of Jangwakha Sivla Chiok in Chubo Gewak Punakha. And unlike most communities in the country, for the Chiok, this decline is a cause of concern. Our reporter Dea Changadoji finds out why.
Just a month ago, there used to be more than 40 dogs in Jangwakha. The canine distemper outbreak gradually reduced the number to 10. Locals are worried.
The dogs died after showing 2 types of symptoms. Some died after becoming weak and with foaming at the mouth. There were others that died with swollen stomach, which looked more serious.
These days, almost all the dogs in Jangwakha seem infected with canine distemper. While many succumb to it, the rest are struggling with the disease. Even pet dogs are affected.
Villagers justify this reaction, which is in stark contrast to many communities considering increasing dog population a nuisance.
In our village,
people love dogs more because dogs help us guard our vegetables. Our Chiok is known for mass production of vegetables because of the canines' help. Here they do the works that people easily cannot.
He added, farmers resort to keeping dogs as the Chiok does not have electric fencing yet to guard their fields. While many raises stray dogs, there are some who spend on buying puppies from outside the village. Farmers have already alerted the Geok's livestock extension officer of the outbreak.
We are receiving many reports of the outbreak from the farmers, but once a dog is infected, there is no treatment. Nevertheless, we can always provide technical support if people are willing to spend on vaccinating their dogs against the disease.
He added the vaccine should be given in the early stages of the dog's life cycle. The extension officer also said canine distemper is not zoonotic in nature, meaning the disease will not spread to humans. And in Punakha, its outbreak is more common during winters. This is Chang Atoji for BBS News, Punakha.
Well, that's all for this week. Thank you for joining us.